Once upon a time, in a kingdom in India, the finest of the royal horses was taken down to the river to be bathed. The grooms took him to the same shallow pool where they always washed him. However, just before they arrived, a very dirty horse had been washed in the same spot. This horse had been caught in the countryside and had never had a good bath in all his life. So the fine royal horse sniffed the air. He knew right away that some dirty wild horse had been bathed there and messed up the water. So he was disgusted and refused to be washed at that place. The grooms tried their level best to get him into the water but couldn't manage. So they went back to the king and complained that the fine well-trained royal horse had suddenly become stubborn and unmanageable. It just so happened that the king had an intelligent minister who was known for his understanding of animals. So he called for the minister and said, "Please go and see what has happened to my number one horse. Find out if he is sick or what could be the reason why he is refusing to be bathed." The king further said, "Of all my horses, I thought this one was of such high quality that would never let himself sink into dirtiness. There must be something wrong." So the minister went down to the riverside bathing pool immediately. He found that the royal horse was not sick but in perfect health. He noticed also that he was deliberately breathing as little as possible. So the minister sniffed the air and smelled a slight foul odor. Investigating further, he found that it came from unclean water in the bathing pool. So he figured out that another very dirty horse must have been washed there, and that the king's horse was too fond of cleanness to be bathed in dirty water. The minister asked the horse grooms, "Has any other horse been bathed at this spot today?" "Yes," they replied. They further on said, "Before we arrived here, a dirty wild horse was bathed there." The minister told them, "My dear grooms, this is a fine royal horse who loves cleanness. He does not wish to be bathed in dirty water. So the thing to do here is to take him up the river where the water is fresh and clean and wash him there." So they followed his instructions, and the royal horse was pleased to be bathed in a new place full of fresh and clean water. The minister returned to the king and told him what had happened. He said, "You were correct, Your Majesty. This fine horse was indeed of such high quality that he would not let himself sink into dirtiness." The king was amazed that his minister seemed to be able to read the mind of a horse, so he rewarded him. You see, my friends, in life, there are those of high standards and quality, whether animals or people, that refuses to compromise their principles or dignity, even in challenging situations. This story emphasizes the importance of maintaining one's integrity and purity, regardless of external circumstances. So this goes for your way of life. The way you think, you need to live from the inside to the outside. And by all means, do not affect yourself by outer circumstances or negative people or energies. The people with the purest hearts and best intentions refuse to partake in a society that has turned dirty and has lost all morals. So regardless of what the society thinks of you or said to you, value your cleanliness, value your principles, and value your dignity so that you live a best life, a pure life, and a life that is clean.